Peace. How y'all doing? I was just gonna make a video. I was just gonna make a video talking my stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm always talking my shit, you know what I mean? So, I just wanted to know, like, how y'all felt about him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people post, some people don't care. Like, I wanted to know, like, what's your vibe? How y'all feel about, like, your boy? Because I could tell you how I feel about him, you know what I'm saying? But I be trying to, we on some positive shit over here. You know what I'm saying? We be trying to get the people moving and rolling. I'm kind of really not feeling this. I'm kind of like I wanted to do something else and talk about something else, but I was just like, you know what? Like I wanted to know what was your thoughts on Martin Luther King. You know, me personally, I didn't really like his approach. Um, I think that like nonviolent shit never gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to revolution. Especially when it comes to trying to get freedom. When you trying to fight, well, that's the whole point, right? Fighting. I think like when I hear fight, I don't think about marching. I don't think about sit-ins. I don't think about some of those things when I hear fighting for freedom. You know, I think about like physical struggle. Not saying that they ain't go through no physical stuff, but I just when I think about fighting for freedom, it's like if somebody keep going putting their hands in your pocket or physically doing stuff to you, like you know what I'm saying, you gotta struggle. You gotta struggle in that way. So that's how I look at the whole stuff. Um I feel like Martin, you know, I feel like he genuinely was bamboozled. I feel like I used to call him a sucker and I used to say, there's no such thing, man. Definitely. You know, I used to call him a sucker and I used to be like, oh, he's a sucker, he this, he that, but like I feel like he just really believed that, you know, people, he really believed that in the democracy. He really believed that the white folks was some people that you're gonna negotiate with, in a civil way. I think he really actually believed that stuff. And I feel like because he believed that stuff, it led him to kind of like bust the moves, or organize in a certain way, like he thought would be a conducive way, right? But I'm more but even today, right? I tell people the same thing. Like even today, we still have the same ideology. Today we still, and part of that ideology is kind of like some Christian. Christianity was kind of like used to make slaves submissive. No matter how much black folks don't like to hear this, that's the truth, right? Like black people hate everything about white people except Christianity, and you have to understand that when enslaved Africans got here, they used Christianity to kind of like make them docile, right? To make them submissive. So people gotta yo, what's good? People gotta understand, like, what I'm saying, they use Christianity to prevent us from fighting. You know, as much as you might want to say about Islam or whatever the case might be, and this is not about Muslim or Christian, but like you ain't gonna hear no no nothing that like, oh, you became Muslim and then what I'm saying, they told you not to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just not part of God's decree, right? God always wage war on his enemies. This goes from the Old Testament to what I'm saying, it got a little funny around the New Testament, right? They started playing with it. But the whole point is, I think Luther King had this kind of Christian approach. He had like this approach of turn the other cheek and getting slapped up and letting people spit on them and sicking the dogs and hosing them and doing all of this stuff. And I think a lot of that ideology, some people say it came from Gandhi, because Gandhi was kind of doing similar stuff in India. But I think a lot of it was also rooted in the church. Yeah, what I'm saying? I think a lot of it was rooted in the church though. And Gandhi was, Gandhi was. We gotta learn about some of these people, man. Just like MLK shit came out to the light that he was doing a little this, little that. A lot of these leaders were doing little funny stuff, man. They were dibbling and dabbling and doing whatever things they weren't supposed to be doing. We're not saying they perfect, but it's just when you in the when you out there, it's just certain shit you just shouldn't do. You shouldn't be getting yourself into. But anyway, so boom. So I think a lot of his ideologies came from it resembled Christianity. Like it resembled the like when they claimed that Jesus and his disciples were unarmed and there was of peace and there was of this and that and the third. So I think a lot of that stuff resembled that, and I think that's what a lot of his message came from. That and also believing in Gandhi, or admiring Gandhi, like the brother said. But yeah, I don't think that shit gets you nowhere. And I think he started to recognize that towards the end of his legacy. Right? Malcolm X died first. And I think Martin Luther King started to realize, like, yo, I can't really like if y'all could go on YouTube and y'all could look at Martin Luther King's speech. You could look at his last speech. And in his last speech, I could kind of tell like the man, like the desperation started to kick in. I could tell like when he talks about I've been to the mountaintop. Um, he already knew he was going to die. I feel like when you look at Malcolm X's last speech, right, that he didn't get to finish, he knew he was going to die too. Martin Luther King knew this was going to be his last address. You could kind of tell by the way and the things that he was saying, and he was saying I already been to the mountaintop, like so it don't even matter, like if I don't get there, if I don't get to see it, So he was basically putting people on. He also said, I fear I might have dragged my people into a burning house or integrated. I feel I might have integrated my people into a burning house, because I feel like at some point he was starting to see, he was starting to recognize, he was starting to understand, like what was going on, right? Like yo, you can't negotiate, you know. It's funny, but it's almost like the American people say, right? We don't negotiate with terrorists. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. Like what I'm saying? He wasn't up on game. He wasn't up on you can't negotiate with terrorists. He thought he could. So I feel like that's kind of like my approach. I used to call him a sucker, and I used to say he was a sellout, and he was this, and he was that. And I don't know if he really knew what was going on, because I think like from his last address, he was kind of like fed up. But he could have been a sellout, and he could have been getting paid, and he could have been Malcolm X said this, right? He was like he said Martin Luther King gets paid by the white man. He gets endorsed by the white man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reason why Martin Luther King has a day and Malcolm X don't got a day, right? There's a reason why Malcolm X was demonized and Martin Luther King wasn't demonized, right? There's a reason why the Panthers was demonized, right? Like a lot of black folks didn't agree with what the Panthers was doing. A lot of black folks didn't agree with what Martin Luther King was doing. So, I mean, not Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the Panthers, the Black Panthers, try to live out like the legacy of Malcolm X. So, and you see what happens to group of men, of black men who arm themselves, who stand up for what's right, who are willing to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the traits of a man, right? Like I think like this whole peaceful movement just made us mad docile. But I think like the characteristics of a man, of any man, right? When somebody violates you, slap you around, threaten your family, any man, what I'm saying, in your right mind, it's gonna want blood. It's gonna want to be able to defend. It's gonna want to be able to fight. It's gonna want to be able to, you get what I'm saying. So that's just my thoughts. But look, y'all not like this was supposed to be like a dialogue, but I guess y'all acting like y'all don't want to chat tonight. I know it's a little late. I'll be wilding with my lives, going live at the wrong moments. But definitely, like the brother said, there is no such thing as a peaceful revolution. But those are just my thoughts, man. And I think moving forward, like we still see the effects of that. We still see how marching, sittings, like these things don't really do nothing for us. And I think like one thing I'm gonna leave y'all with before I go. If y'all haven't watched the documentary, or it's on YouTube, it's called the Ballot or the Bullet by Malcolm X. And in there, Malcolm X explains like what we need to do as a people to get free. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't come here for that. They don't, a lot of people come here for the ignorant stuff, or just for the stories, or they just want to laugh. They just want to be entertained. But like, if you're really serious about making some change and going places and changing yourself and your family, like I encourage you to watch The Ballot or the Bullet by Malcolm X. It's on YouTube, and it would it would definitely change your perspective, because Malcolm X definitely laid out the foundation for people to get conscious, to change their philosophy. He said, and I'm gonna give you all the points that he made. He said the first thing we must do as black people, right? He said we must change our philosophy, and your philosophy is ideas, right? Like who taught us, right? Who taught us history? Who taught us education? Who taught us the thing that we know? Why do we think the way that we think? It's because we went to the enemy school. Malcolm X also said this. He said, only a fool will let his enemy educate his children. Malcolm X was self-taught, right? He learned in prison by reading, and he also learned from Elijah Muhammad certain things, right? But for the most part, he was a man of research, of seeking knowledge, seeking information. Malcolm X has an honorary PhD, I believe, from Harvard. If y'all don't know what that is, look it up. Look up what is an honorary PhD. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't go to college, but he got a PhD. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is the man that took the time. He put in the work. He put in the hours to get himself out of the gutter, to get himself out of that mindset, right? Because the first thing you got to change is your mindset. Yeah, Eldridge Cleaver. It's funny because Bob Marley said this in the song too, right? Bob Marley said, "How long should we let them kill our prophets while we stand around and look?" You know what I'm saying? And that was real shit. You know what I'm saying? He was saying shit. Exactly. So Malcolm X, he was saying some real stuff. So Malcolm X did the work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we just hoping and praying that the change come from the people, from the enemy, or from the people who don't give a shit about us. Like, and y'all can keep waiting. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can keep waiting, y'all can keep marching, y'all can keep begging, y'all can keep pleading, y'all can keep, you know what I'm saying, shaking your little can. You might as well go on the train, right? This is what we doing. We going on the train, shaking our can and asking the white man to take their foot off our neck and to be nice and do all these whatever we want. But anyway, I'll give you out a few things he said, right? First thing he said was this. He said you have to change your philosophy, right? Your ideas, the way you view the world. All of this shit is mind shit. He said you have to change your philosophy first. He said once you change your philosophy, you would change your thought pattern. Said once you change your philosophy, you will change your thought pattern. That's very important. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Your attitude changes. He said, and once your attitude changes, then your behavior will change. And then he said, and once your behavior changes, then you could go about some action. So these are like very important steps. If you really want to change anything, you have to start with yourself. You have to walk that walk. You have to live that life. We all got to do that. We all have to be mirrors. We all have to be examples for one another. This is why when the FBI files came out not too long ago, the FBI had some, they were saying Martin Luther King was doing this, he was doing that. And of course, a lot of people going to dismiss it and say, oh, that's the FBI trying to throw dirt on one of our leaders. But the FBI also released a statement about Malcolm X. And the FBI said they didn't have no dirt on Malcolm X. They said they found he was a stand-up guy. Like he stood on what he believed and what he talked about and what he preached. So I think that's important. I think that's also why we can't really get nowhere with a lot of these so-called black leaders, because a lot of them got a lot of shady shit they be doing. A lot of them got a lot of dirt they be doing. A lot of them be doing underhanded, funny shit, extorting the people. They just be doing a whole bunch of shit, man. So we don't really have no leaders. We don't really, and I don't think we ever gonna see somebody, well, you know what I'm saying, from the black community like of the caliber of like Malcolm X, right? I think all of that died with the Panther Party, and the Panther Party had the issues. But I think we're not gonna see another leader of like the caliber of Malcolm X. That's just my opinion. Y'all could call it pessimistic. I just think the times is crazy. Morality, ignorance is at an all-time high. Everybody has a channel. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has a radio station. Everybody has a mic, and some people shouldn't have a mic. That's just my opinion. Because I think a lot of people is just putting out mad misinformation out there, a lot of negativity, a lot of distractions. Everybody's just distracted. So even my channel, right? A lot of people come here to distract themselves, to just hear a good story and just ignore the shit that's really going on. Yeah, basically, we got to be our own leaders. We got to do our own thing and just worry about ourselves and our families. And that's like the sad thing, right? That it's like sometimes you can't take people who you want to take with you. And I think like it's a sad thing, right? It's a sad thing like when you grow up with somebody and you can't really bring them with you, or you can't really help them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really give them what you got. You know, like so it's hard. It's hard things, hard decisions that got to be made, man. Some people gonna get left behind, and you got to keep it pushing, man. You gotta focus and work with the people who is willing to mess with you and fuck with you. But like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. Watch Malcolm X, The Ballot or the Bullet. Speech is on YouTube. And if you're really trying to change, if you're really trying to get your mind right, that's something that I watch. That's something that I took notes on. That's something that I constantly work on trying to be better at. So I'm out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't trying to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't trying to talk about the good stuff today. Most of these black leaders, yeah, they out for the bag, man. A lot of them just using that fake conscious talk to steal money, to bamboozle you, to make you believe they trying to really do something for us, or they're gonna bust a move for us. But in reality, but that's how it is, man. Everybody out for self. This is why we can't really get nowhere. We don't agree on things. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We just all messed up, man. We all psychologically messed up. Yeah, yeah, yep. Even though he didn't die from the bullet, you know what I'm saying? He survived the gunshot wound. They saying he got smothered with a pillow at the hospital. That's another story that it's not really out there like that, right? That he survived the gunshot wound, and then they killed him at the hospital with a pillow. So it's crazy, man. History has definitely been crazy here in the Americas, and they definitely working mad hard to like cover it up to not let us see it, because it's gruesome. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the shit they did. But yo, make sure y'all stay safe out there. If y'all celebrated the day, I don't know what y'all did. I don't know if y'all taught y'all children or y'all talked about it, or like I don't know what y'all did. But again, like I said, last thing, if you're really serious about getting your mind right, go watch The Ballot or the Bullet by Malcolm X. And if you take notes and you apply some of the things that brother said, I guarantee you your life will change. So with all that being said, you have a good one. You have a good night. It's kind of late. I'm saying I'm always late. I'll try to be a little earlier next time. So y'all have a good one. Peace.